Hey everybody, I'm David Corsaro, and it's time to be awesome. I am backstage right now at the Metro Magic Convention located in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, and I ran into my good friend Mike Rubenstein. Mike, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Mike runs is one of the people who runs the New York Coin Magic Seminar, which this year is taking place at Mark D'Souza's house. And when is it?
October 24th, 25th, right outside of Philly.
October 24th, 25th, right outside of Philly. And I know the theme of this year's convention was worker coin magic. Can you just tell us a little bit about what makes a coin trick a worker trick in your mind?
Sure. As you know, coin magic can be very angly.
Right.
And there are some great moves that maybe can only be done for one or two people.
Right.
And this, in my mind, is not a worker trick.
Right.
I mean, there are tricks, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Classic of magic, David Roth's person glass.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the greatest tricks around. It's direct. It tells you exactly what's happening. It's very magical, very open, but it can only be done under one type of situation. So although it's a great trick, it wouldn't be what I'd call a worker trick. It's not a trick that you could do walking around in a restaurant or in a
bar
bar at a
mitzvahs
party.
and whatever
Exactly.
stuff, yeah.
So a worker trick has to be practical.
Right.
It has to be commercial, meaning it has to have good impact, and it has to be able to be done under a wide variety of circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Now that doesn't mean that you can't substitute a different type of move if you have maybe better angles that are at your advantage, but
Right.
you should be able to do it if you're more surrounded. You can't say, well, I can't do that trick because I've got people on my left. You've got to be able to do it, in all sorts of different situations. So a worker trick is a trick that can be done under those situations, even if it's something that you can adapt and change and modify to suit your performing needs. It's still the same trick, and that's the trick that I think is a worker trick.
Now, I noticed, because you got a lot of the great guys, who's coming to this year's convention? There's you, there's David Roth, who else is going to be there?
Mike Gallo, we're the
Mike
hosts
Gallo.
of the seminar.
Right, you guys are the three hosts.
But then we've got three real workers. We have Eric DeCamps, who just finished a great run in New York.
His run off Broadway and his stuff in Magic Castle.
Exactly, and new dean of the New York SAM.
SAM #1, that's right.
And he's got a repertoire of working coin magic that he does when he performs for the public, and they're great tricks, and he's going to be giving up some of his secrets.
Okay, so you have Eric DeCamps.
And in addition to him being a SAM champion, we have another former SAM champion, Doug Brewer, a full-time magician who makes his living working in restaurants and doing parties, and just wrote a new book on coin magic. So he'll be there. He'll be showing his practical, no-nonsense coin magic, which I think will be great. And third, we have one of the top bar magicians in the country, Scotty York.
Which is incredible.
He's like an icon of magic.
Absolutely.
He killed at our seminar last year, and we asked him to come back for round 2. And he's going to be bringing all new stuff.
I think the key thing to keep in mind is that all three of these guys, as Mike just mentioned, they're actually out there working. If you're at home and you love doing coin magic, and you love to be able to reach in your pocket, grab a couple coins, and amaze your friends, that's great. It really is. But if you want to make a living doing coin magic, and you want to get out there, you need the practicality of it. You need to be able to say, I can't position my audience. I can't say, well, hold on, you have to come over here because I have to be able to do this. And obviously, coin magic at the fingertips might be difficult to see if you're back a little further. These are the guys, the Camps, York, they really have the repertoire and the arsenal because they've been out there doing this for large groups of people in a variety of settings for quite a long time.
Exactly. They know the score, they know how to work for the public, and that's what we want to emphasize at our seminar. And that's what I try and emphasize in my own magic.
Now, it's what you just said a second ago. It's what you try to emphasize in your own magic. I think there's a place for the finger-flicking, tough angle type stuff, and there's the worker practicality of it. Sure. When you're working on material for yourself, or you're creating your own magic, do either of those come into play at all? Do you sit there and say, you know what, I want to create something that I can do as a worker, or I want to create something that's for the magicians and for the tight angles, or do you just create and then try to take that trick and adapt it to both situations?
Exactly. What I do is I try and come up first with the idea of a trick.
Okay.
And make sure that it works. And then I say, now let's see, this trick can be done, I have to do this sitting down at a table, and the people have to be in front of me. That's a great trick, but it's not a worker trick. Now, how do I turn this into a worker trick? So let me say, instead of doing this sitting down, maybe I can do it standing up. Okay, now my angles on my left aren't good for this. How do I improve the angles on my left so that I can actually do this now surrounded? So now the trick is starting to change. It's the same trick, but it's got different handlings. And those handlings allow me to be more flexible, so I can actually do this trick at a party. I can do it with a sit-down formal performance. I can do this walking around, and that gives me a lot of flexibility. And it's the same trick, yet it has the same impact.
Have you ever created something, worked on it, tried to get different angles to become a worker, and then finally said, you know what, this is not a worker trick, this is a performance trick. This is something I have to limit to a certain thing. At what point do you give up?
Well, I don't think you ever give up.
You'll never give up.
I think you put it to the back of your mind. I'll give you a perfect example. I mentioned David Roth's person glass. It's a great routine. As I said, it's not practical to do in a wide variety of circumstances, but it's a classic trick. And I've loved it, and for years I've tried to figure out a way to do that, and I finally came up with a way. And in fact, I'm going to be teaching at the next seminar. It's a way to do the trick standing up, pretty much surrounded. You don't have to worry about angles, and the handling is going to be different than David's classic. It's maybe there are some points where it may not be as magical because it's going to be a little more closed, which is what makes it more practical. However, the effect is the same on the general public, and so that makes it a worker trick. Now I can do that trick, that classic trick of magic. I can do it, in restaurants. I can do it at bars. I can do it pretty much anywhere.
I think if you're out there and you're a coin guy, and I think it's really important to realize that there is a difference between YouTube coin magic that's done for this angle and it looks incredible, and worker coin magic. And there's a lot of great products out in the market right now that, you know what, they look great when you watch them on the DVD and they look great when you watch the trailer on YouTube, but if you're out there working and you want something that you can add to your repertoire, it might not fit into that. I think that's where, if you are out there and you're working with the New York Coin Magic Seminar this year, is going to be really valuable, because the entire theme of it is what can you do in a worker environment. And if you think about it, as I'm tangenting here, if you think about it, once you have a worker trick, it's automatically a one-angle trick. It's something that you could, any worker trick's going to be great for YouTube or from that camera angle, whereas not all one camera angle tricks are worker tricks.
Exactly, and even it goes with the same thing with moves. A retention pass is a beautiful move. It's a beautiful vanish. However, let's face it, the angles on the left really aren't that good. So if I'm going to be surrounded, I'm not going to do a retention pass. I'll use Al Schneider's classic vanish, which is a practical, no-nonsense vanish. You get the same effect. Maybe you don't have that retention of vision aspect, but it doesn't matter. You get the same action is accomplished, and you vanish the coin in a very, very magical way, yet your angles are better.
What year is this for the New York Coin Magic Seminar?
This is going to be the 7th seminar.
7th seminar. Now, I know for anybody who has never been to the New York Coin Magic Seminar but is interested in the types of things that we're talking about, the types of stars that you guys have, the first 6 are out on DVD, correct?
Well, we don't actually put the seminar on the DVD.
Not the seminar.
The DVDs are
compilation highlight.
Right. Well, they're called the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD set. But what we've done is the seminar takes place on the first day. The second day we do our DVD shoot, and what happens on the first day isn't necessarily what we do on the second day. It's different things. We may take snippets from our seminar and put that on so people can get a flavor of what we did. But we don't feel it's fair for somebody to come to our seminar and pay a lot of money to sit there and learn special things and then release everything that we've taught, on the DVD. So they're getting special personalized instruction. They're getting a gift bag that's worth over $100 when they come to the seminar. They're getting workshops, lectures, demonstrations, presentations. And we only take really a small amount. We put that in the bonus section on our DVDs. The rest of the DVD is basically like a trick and explanation. And each of our DVDs have discussed different themes. Our first DVD was a 2-volume, 4-hour set on coins across. Now, this is, again, an idea of what makes coin trick a worker's trick. Coins across is a classic of magic, and there are ways that you can do it that are pretty angly, and there are ways that you can do it that are going to be better for better circumstances. There are ways of doing it for large groups as opposed to intimate settings. And so we have 27 different types on that. And then volume 2, 3, and 4 were copper-silver effects. Again, wild coins, spellbound, different aspects, transpositions, using a spectator. Volumes 5, 6, and 7 were productions, vanishes, and penetrations. Even though we're labeling this seminar workers, pretty much all the tricks that we do on those DVDs are adaptable for worker situations. There are some tricks like, as I mentioned again, David Roth's classic person glass. We teach something like that. But there are many tricks that can be done for restaurants, for bars, for walk around, for parties, stand up, in addition to some of the things that we do sit down. Some things use gaffs, some things don't use gaffs.
Where can somebody go to find out more information about the DVDs first?
www.newyorkcoinmagic.net.
NewYorkCoinMagic.net. We'll throw that up on the screen. So it's NEWYO, New York. NewYorkCoinMagic.net. We'll throw that up on the screen. They can go there to learn more information about not only the seminar, but also about the DVDs that are out, right?
Correct. And the seminar is booking up pretty fast. It's only going to be in about 3 weeks from now. So it's important to register as soon as possible to get in, because we only have about 30 paid places. It's limited to the amount of seats in Mark de Souza's beautiful theater. So, we want to get in soon to make sure you get your place.
Okay, cool. So we're going to throw that information up on the screen. You guys check that out. Can you show us a little something in a minute?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Rubenstein, and I'd like to show you something that I call a worker's coin trick. Now there are coins all over the place, but in fact, if you look like right over there, you might be able to find an old $50. That's one, and that's nice, but it's always more impressive if you have two. And of course, there's nothing wrong with two, but I always like to do things with 3 coins. So we have 1, 2, 3 $50 that they don't like to stay here. If I go like this, I can actually catch the first one and make it go across, just like that. Now, it's really interesting. The coin started here, and they wound up over here, but you couldn't see it travel because it went by magic. But if you listen very carefully, even if you can't see it go, you can hear it arrive. And the second one goes across. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take this one, I'm going to hold this one way over here, and take these over here and give it a little shake, and just like that, I can make the last one go from here over to here. That gives me 3 coins. Of course, I got them from the air, so let me take the first one and just kind of make that one melt away. Let me take the second one. Give a little wave here, and just like that, the second coin goes away, just like the first. Take the third one. Oh wait, that one didn't go because I have to actually blow. Just like that, the coin vanishes. Thank you.
Mike Rubenstein, New York Coin Magic Seminar, NewYorkCoinMagic.net. Check it out. Thanks a lot. My name's been David Corsaro. Mike Rubenstein, go be awesome.
Take care.